Time's up.
Thunder all through the night. Promise to see
Joshua.
in the morning light. Take my hand, it'll be alright. Come on, save your soul tonight. Thunder all through the night. Promise to see
Joshua.
in the morning light. Take my hand, it'll be alright. Come on, save your soul tonight.
My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer.
One doomsday rumor has a planet, a rogue planet named Nibiru or Planet X, coming into the solar system and crashing into Earth. This is silly. If there were such an object, anybody could see it. It would be one of the brightest things in the sky.
We're all losing our mind. So yeah, 2 sunsets in one sky. Posted April 11th, 3:15 p.m. Updated 6 a.m. today. There seems to be 2 sunsets taking place in opposite directions in this bizarre video. And now, so I could deduce, conclude, or educated guess is Jupiter, because this was only a couple days ago, and 2017, Jupiter's in opposition. Why would Jupiter be that bright? Why would Jupiter be that bright? Why would Jupiter be that bright? And the opposition was April 7th, 2017. So, you know, like, peace out. God bless you. Full moon. Maybe it was a full moon. Or was it the other side of the sun? And would it look like that? What have we found? Tachi, Takai, Hokolubus, Nibiru, Nemesis, Tiamat. WTF is that giant? We got Planet X, or the sun's binary companion, showing up again. And then everybody freaks out and loses their minds. It's like, oh my god, Nibiru's coming. Freaky deaky. Super freaky deaky. And all of a sudden, NASA started talking about Planet X. I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Hi, I'm Jim Green, Director of Planetary Science at NASA. I couldn't be more pleased about what's happening. If Planet X is out there, we'll find it together.
Wait, what? Wait, what? What if the moon ignites, turns into a sun? Plot twist. The moon ignites and turns into a sun. Nah, just kidding. It's Jupiter. Wait, why's Jupiter on fire? Did Jupiter turn into a sun? Turn Jupiter's F, a failed star, into at least a B-, I guess. I don't know. This is weird. Dang you, full moon. Pink moon. Oh, all right. Stay cool. We'll get back to this mystery soon, I imagine.
He will not win, no he will lose. Christ will drop him, then he'll reboot. The heavens and the earth, everything's new. The city's walls and gold streets will be see-through. A tree of healing for the nations, we will eat the fruit. No sun, no stars in the green room, just the glory of God in his people. No pain, no sorrow, no evil. No death, no tomorrow, no greed, dude. No shame, no boredom, no seas blue. Dear Lord, I don't know when I'ma see you, but I can't wait, and I pray that it'll be soon.
You hear that like the flash, you heard that thunder roll. Can't wait to crash back. This song should come to those who walk the race path, who had a love of those. This ain't to crash, relax. When that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows. This ain't to crash, relax, yeah, when that trumpet blows.
photos, I would like to address the typical tactics employed by disinfo agents and trolls to discredit a valid photo or video of an authentic unidentified celestial object. We encourage you to take the time to view this portion of the presentation as well. However, if you wish to get right to the presentation, simply use the shortcut link below. Now, there are a few different ways in which one can validate an amateur photo or video. All of the photos and videos we have included in our presentation pass one or more of these authenticity tests. Despite that, the trolls and disinfo agents will continue to yell swamp gas, lens flare, or sundog, which is why we encourage you to not skip this short section. However, if you must, simply use the link below to fast forward. This will not only validate the photos and videos we have included in our presentation, but it will help you to recognize an authentic amateur photo or video going forward. So let's get to it.
The reason why I get these questions is what these hosts are getting in terms of pushback from self-appointed debunkers. So what are the debunkers saying? It's the planet Venus, as shown here in a recent early morning observation. Or that it's a sundog, a scientific term for a bright circular spot or solar halo beside the sun. Then there are the more technical explanations that deal with camera aberrations, such as it's a reflection caused by a camera lens coating, or it's a lens flare caused by an internal reflection within the lens due to light being scattered by manufacturing inconsistencies in the lens itself. And finally, it's light bouncing off the front of the lens and onto the back of the outdoor camera housing window. So how do these debunkers come up with these scientific sounding explanations? First, foremost, and always, they ignore the evidence and quickly pick up a megaphone. Their goal is not to study the data on its own merits, but rather to shout down whoever is presenting it in any way possible. Few people ever verify the claims made by debunkers, because debunkers know what's really going on for most of you out there, that
You can't handle the truth.
But that's changing, because we're seeing more of you out there becoming good cynics. A popular term in the public lexicon these days is sundogs, and this started back in 2003 when paid disinformationalists learned that the poor resolution and imaging systems of these early camera cell phones could be used to create bogus sundog images. They then used social programming to make the term sundog a trigger word, so that when folks hear it, their brains stop working. This social programming campaign ended after Apple brought out the first iPhone in 2007, due to the superior imaging capabilities of modern smartphones. However, this fact has never stopped debunkers and paid disinformationalists from using this powerful social programming trigger phrase. Still the same, you can see the difference with your own eyes. Another popular natural observation debunking claim is, it's Venus. Here you see a recent observation of the planet Venus. Venus is used as the most frequent debunking tactic to rationalize away the object we're observing.
Correct.
The first thing you notice with Esty, and he shot this, is that this is after sunset. He has to zoom in order to get Jupiter and Venus. from an astronomy standpoint, I think it's really a beautiful sighting, a great observation. My hat's off to Esty for this one. But it also goes to the point of saying, well, if we get to a full zoom out in the video, and here it's, how is this going to be as big? And I'm just going to go back and get a frame from one of your other earlier videos and jump back to it and interpose it here.
Okay.
How does that compare in size relative to the sun with that?
It's much, much smaller. The objects that he captured are much, much smaller.
That's right. So, you know, it's something where I think thanks to Esty, we have a very interesting comeback to these debunkings, particularly since Esty is in Tucson, Arizona as well. So they can't say, well, if, you know, this guy shot the video in Minneapolis and you're in Tucson, so it's going to look different. Tucson is Tucson. You're in Tucson, Esty's in Tucson. So much for the Jupiter-Venus debunking. Congratulations. However, for you good cynics out there, here is all the information you need to vet our observation. So to vet this observation, enter the data into a sky program such as Stellarium, and here's what you'll see. That Venus is not in the field of view. And in fact, you can perform this same test with every feed image of Nibiru we've ever posted. So if we're mistaking Nibiru for Venus, our own government, let alone any honest fifth grader, could have easily debunked us. But camera aberrations are what the term implies. And unlike natural observations, these are image anomalies created by your camera. At the beginning of this program, we mentioned the 3 camera aberrations debunkers and paid disinformationalists use to dismiss our Nibiru observations. Now, here is a key concept. No matter what kind of camera aberration we're talking about, no matter what kind of camera aberration we're talking about, it's going to happen within a few inches of the imaging sensor. Within a few inches of the imaging sensor. Anything beyond the camera housing window will be a natural object. This is typically going to be clouds and heavenly objects such as the sun and Nibiru. Therefore, the important thing to remember is that digital cameras can produce images with both natural objects as well as camera aberrations. So the trick becomes one of separating the real objects from the aberrations. And if you have a series of images, this can be done very easily with movement. Here we have a series of observation images recently submitted to us, which turned out to be an excellent example of a lens flare, and how it can be identified because of its random movements. That's why I call lens flares hoochie coochie dancers, because they just dance around everywhere.
Additionally, I have noticed that lens flares are always foreground objects. They always appear in front of everything in the photo. Number 2. Lens flares are not well defined in shape and often blurry in appearance. Number 3. Lens flares have no depth in appearance. They tend to be very shallow looking. Number 4. Lens flares tend to be rainbow colored, or they will match the color of the object they are reflecting.
Here you see to the left of the sun is Nibiru, or what we used to call bluebonnet. Notice how it moves steadily through the sky as natural objects do, while it closes with the cloud bank. Now remember, all camera aberrations happen within a few inches of the imaging sensor in the camera, which is installed just behind the lens mount. And what you see now is Nibiru slipping behind the clouds. It is also very important to note that Nibiru disappears behind the clouds while the sun is still in full view. Had it been an aberration, it would have remained in view with the sun. And the next step in the process is what we call a gamma test. It's a simple test, but it's a very valuable test, and we're going to show you how it's done. You're now going to learn how to perform a do-it-yourself gamma test. This is easy, and it's a great way to acid test any image. All you need is a freely available paint program such as GIMP, which allows you to adjust size, contrast, brightness, and gamma. But for now, what you need to remember is that gamma shows us if an object is hot or cold. This is critical because hot objects generate their own light and cold objects do not. So why is this important? Natural objects like our sun are hot objects. They create the light we're seeing through camera lenses. On the other hand, lens flares and other aberrations are cold objects. They do not create their own light. Rather, they redirect it from other sources that do create light. So the whole point of a gamma test is to factor out misleading cold objects, so we can focus our attention on the hot objects. Ergo, gamma testing separates cold objects from hot objects. But it's not an absolute test. Gamma is like the volume knob on your radio. When you turn down the volume, you still hear heavier sounds like drum beats, but lighter sounds like the background singers will fade out. To illustrate this analogy, let's turn down the volume on Glenn's image. We'll start with a gamma of 1 and reduce that by half, which does give it a more dramatic look. And when we take that all the way down to a gamma of 0.01, all we have left are the brightest objects. Our rock and roll drum beats, so to speak, the hot objects in the sky, if you will.
Doing gamma testing, remember, natural objects generate light and they hold up as the gamma is reduced. Lens flares and aberrations do not generate light and fade out as gamma is reduced. And this is how we discern the difference between real objects and lens flares and aberrations.
So let's recap. Number 1. Planets such as Venus, Jupiter, Mars, etc. cannot be seen during the daylight hours. Number 2. Venus and Jupiter, the most commonly seen planets, can only be seen during the pre-dawn and or post-sunset hours.
This is after sunset. He has to zoom in order to get Jupiter and Venus.
Number 3. Sundogs are sundogs. They come in one shape, one size. Number 4. Lens flares are not real. They do not exist in nature. Number 5. Lens flares are not real. They only exist within the housing of the phone/camera itself. Number 6. Lens flares are not real. They cannot be shielded nor blocked by real objects in nature. Number 7. No matter the type of camera/light aberration, lens flare, ghost image, refraction, reflection, blah, 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 blah. Understand it is not real and cannot interact with real objects outside the camera/phone.
First, foremost, and always, they ignore the evidence and quickly pick up a megaphone. Their goal is not to study the data on its own merits, but rather to shout down whoever is presenting it in any way possible. Few people ever verify the claims made by debunkers.
If you must blink, do it now. Pay careful attention to everything you see and hear, no matter how unusual it may seem.
It is known by many names. My people called it Galactus, the devourer of worlds. It must feed on energy to survive, both thermal and organic. Take joy in the last few hours you have left, for he is nearly here.
The object appears when there is not a light source. 2. When the object appears, it is sharp with a shadowed side away from the sun. 3. The object does not move with the sun, but moves at a sharp angle to the ecliptic. 4. The light source moves across the sky and the object still appears as intensely. That this is not consistent with a reflection or refraction. The object is an enigma.
that, baby. Proof. Full proof. 2 years I've been waiting on this. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh my God. It's just amazing. 2 years I've waited on this shot. 2 suns.
What is important to remember about this live pre-dawn KCRA report is that it was aired live. What you see is a real-time feed from a news helicopter after takeoff in the early morning, well before sunrise. Is NBC News the first mainstream television network to unwillingly air a Nibiru report?
We're back.
Stargazing.
It is a celestial rock.
Awakening.
In space, if you will. Dirk, Dirk, what is it? We're all like, it's a planet? Is it the moon?
Actually,
what is it?
we've been searching, trying to find you in the newsroom because we know you know.
Ask Dirk, what is it?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, Is it the moon? I don't know. You'd have to back up. I'd have to be outside to really see, but that looks like a point of light. And if it's close to the sun, where the sun's coming up, then more than likely that's... I can't believe that we could see Venus that close.
But it is a planet, right? Because it's not twinkling, or is that a myth?
No, I would say that that's a planet, yeah, but
It's Saturn.
It's hard.
Okay, Tamara wants in on this one. She's been Googling.
No, that can't be Saturn unless
It can't
there's an
be.
eclipse going on. No, because you don't see Saturn with a chunk taken out of it.
Maybe that's the
you
lens on.
You only see the moon that have a chunk like that. And the only other planet that I know of that you see a chunk taken out of it like that would be Venus.
What our analysis will show is that the KCRA morning news anchors observed 2 planets via their live news helicopter feed, specifically the planet Venus eclipsing the planet Nibiru. Let's begin with this planetary alignment for January 14, 2014, as depicted by the Solar System Scope program. On that day, the moon is behind Earth, so we know that it is impossible to say that one of these 2 objects could be the moon. Likewise, given the alignment of Mercury and its relative size, we could rule out that planet as well, which brings us to Venus. On this day, it was in an inferior conjunction directly between the Earth and the Sun. This is why Venus appears as a black disk as it eclipses Nibiru. To help put this in perspective, let's use this simple illustration of the phases of Venus. Here we see it on January 14, 2014. Because the Sun is directly behind it, what is presented to us on Earth is the night side of Venus. Conversely, were Venus in a superior conjunction on the opposite side of the Sun, we would see its full day side. On this day, it was in an inferior conjunction directly between the Earth and the Sun. This is why Venus appears as a black disk as it eclipses Nibiru. Such was the case in August of this year. An image was submitted to me by Mr. Glenn Vaughn of San Jose, California. He took this picture with a high-quality digital camera while flying to South America back in April.
Okay, so here I am out here in September, and as you can see, there's obviously a really very clear planet that is right north of the sun. And wow, I would love to say it was the moon, but since the moon happens to be right here on the opposite side, there's no way it is. And since we all have been taught in school that Mercury and Venus do not show up, oh, just look at that planet just beaming and shining right now. Somebody tell me what it is. Thank you.
In his video refuting the debunking argument of Dazza the Cameraman and others, Dave B does what we call a shuttle jog. He goes forward and then backwards to conclusively illustrate that the object of interest is not a lens flare. This is important because what we're seeing in all the different observation reports in this program is two things. They come from all across the globe, and they consistently show us an object of interest to the right of the sun at its 3 o'clock relative to the horizon. Please describe to the viewers out there why you shot this video.
Well, I have been studying chemtrails for the past 14 years. I saw a lot of chemtrails and I stopped when I got to the store and decided to take a video of it, and then I saw this object and decided to move my camera around to see if it was a lens flare or if it was really there. And that's the first time I caught that.
Okay. And now let me show you the field of view so that people are going, well, there's another planet up there besides the object of interest. As everyone can see by looking at the field of view analysis with Starry Night, there's nothing to the sun's 1 or 2 o'clock position.
What the heck is that next to the moon? Brandon, quick! What's that next to the moon? And how come I can't see it? Look, on the camera, quick! You can't see it up in the normal sky, look!
Just a reflection.
No, it's not. It's that.
Yeah, heat
God.
signal thing.
What is that? AJ, that's weird, look. What is that? There, look, Alfie. No, look.
I think it's to do with it.
Look.
Emotions behind the clouds.
Yeah.
See, I was watching. Is that infrared?
No, it's just normal.
Why is that red up there?
But in the clouds, because that's the glow. That's what red.
I see. Yeah. Next to the cloud. I see. I don't know if it looks more like a camera, but it looks like a. I know it looks like a round thing that you can't make it the shape is. It's fair to say. I think it's just a cloud formation.
there was something that was noticed. There was a bird that happened to be flying in front of the field of view.
Right.
And this was very, very fast. Now, you're shooting at 30 frames per second, which is standard for smartphones. And this 3-frame sequence is literally 3 adjacent frames. Each of these represent 1/30th of a second. That's how fast this bird is flying. Wing in front, and here you have bird beyond. Wing in front, bird beyond. You can definitely see that's what's going on.
It's very confirming.
September 3rd, 2017. It's about 8 o'clock p.m. I know I said I wasn't going to put any more of these up, but just to let everybody know, it's still up there. I just wish this video camera could zoom in a little better. Same lens flare again. See, put the moon out. And we'll take the little red guy out. Let's try. So it's not a lens flare. Anyway. It's still up there, people. Alien. My video. Share it, give permission. I'll continue making more of these for you and all the things. All I ask you share them, no problem. Just mention me. Yes, the lens flare is up there on the very right hand side. You can see it as I move. You see the lens flare, a little yellow dot and a red dot. But the moon and the red thing are still there. add it into your own videos. Mention my name, alright? Video belongs to me. Later.
So I found my eclipse glasses and I thought, okay, let's see if we can see Nibiru, or that second object behind the sun, with the eclipse glasses. So here we go.
On this day, when you were shooting this video, were you able to see the object above the sun at the 11 o'clock as you did on the previous day?
Yes, it was as clear with the glasses on as when they were off. Not to the visible eye, only using the phone.
Only using the phone. How have your feelings about what you've observed evolved through these 3 days of observations?
It's more of a, instead of a what if, or a someday when maybe this thing does appear, you know, it's more of a reality. The knowledge is more sure. It's just more of a reality to me now.
And now that it's more of a reality for you, here we are on the 11th. How do you feel today versus how you felt on the 10th?
Well, a little more, more concerned in a way, in so much that, you know, do my friends and my family and myself, are we prepared for what may eventually come to fruition?
Okay. So it's starting to settle in.
Yeah.
You know, it's I want you to know that the other folks that I've posted observations, their videos and their stills, and they go through the same process. When they first do it, they just, oh, okay, well that looks cool. And then all of a sudden, when I come back and say, yeah, you got the real deal, you know, it's like, ooh. And here you're in a parking lot.
Yes, I was in Bridgeport, West Virginia. I believe I was at the mall.
And it's interesting, the object is caught like in the jaw of a scissor here.
Mm-hmm.
just so the listeners understand, I did the starry night on everything you've seen and gamma tests. It all passed. There's absolutely nothing in the sky in the location where your object of interest is. Period. Somebody says it's the moon, go do starry night or do some sky program. You're going to see moon is nowhere. All right.
Well, this one I was at the store and I just stopped in the parking lot and I just noticed that there were so many chemtrails. And so I wanted to show that, and I also wanted to mess with the exposure, so I brought it all the way up and all the way down. Right now it's all the way down, and then I go up again. And you can see that the chemtrails are going, right across the sun. And even with the exposure up as high as it is right now, you can still see the object. And bring it all the way down. It cuts out so much of the light that, it looks like it's a little bit higher than normal. So, yeah. And that's with the lowest exposure.
You really see the distance portrayed here much differently.
Yeah, it looks about the same as with the eclipse glasses on.
If that's the case, then this is progressed in the orbit a little further along, and well, it'll be interesting to see what that means in terms of celestial mechanics.
Yeah.
Now this is this new video from the 16th of January.
Right, and so it was a very chemtrail day, and I was going to the park to meet my sister, and while I was waiting for her to come, I just took a shot, and after, right about here is where you see right above the sun at the 1 o'clock position.
Yeah.
It'll come out from behind those clouds any second now. Here it comes.
Okay. There we are.
There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
There it is, right in between the clouds there.
That is so.
And that's a different color blue. I mean, it's pretty blue there.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, we have a real steady pattern here.
Yeah, that was the same place. I was standing in relatively the same place, same time of day. Well, about 2:30 ish. And again with the cloud cover, except these are chemtrail covers.
Right.
Because they're trying to block this object out. They don't want people to see it.
Yeah, that and other things. It's just one of, with chemtrail spraying, it's a laundry list of things.
Yeah. It's two birds with one stone, or three birds with one stone, or whatever.
Yeah.
Their purposes are for that.
Or actually, they just prefer to kill the whole flock.
Yeah. Let's just with nanu, right?
Nanu.
2017, we noticed a substantial drop in the number of Planet X Nibiru sightings. I now believe this is because its approach is now much closer to the sun, and the sun is now hiding it in its rays of light. Resultantly, for the year 2020, it appears that it can now only be viewed using a device that has sumo magnification capabilities.
At the beginning of November, a mysterious cloud formation stunned onlookers from the Caribbean island of Trinidad, located just off the northeast coast of Venezuela. Villagers in the town of Tunapuna were so perplexed by this iridescent pinkish-purple anomaly that they referred to it as the volcano in the sky. Superstitious users of the internet have indicated that the spectacle is a sign indicative of the beginning of the end for the earth, while others described it as heaven on earth. Irrespective of its description, witnesses were in awe over the footage of the floating hue, which appeared to be motionless between the clouds. Some have described the formation as cloud iridescence, which is a type of optical phenomenon created by ice crystals in closer formation to the sun or the moon, where light is then scattered. It's not exactly known what the purplish-red mass above the Caribbean island is. There has been no official explanation. Recently, the sky over Japan turned an eerie purple, but whether this may be related to the Trinidad anomaly is uncertain. Appearances such as these are rare, but when they happen, they are both incredible and impressive.
The upcoming videos were taken from allskycame.com in 2019. As we demonstrated in 2016, these observatory pictures display an apparent, unidentified celestial object that methodically moves across the sky with the sun, and is even at times shielded by the clouds in the sky. Once again, impossible for lens flares. past, I have a couple of images which appear to show a very faint UCO. It's most likely a lens flare. However, it appears to be obscured by the clouds, which we know is impossible with a lens flare.
On March the 7th, the Solar Dynamics Observatory captured a strange eclipse of the Sun, an event that can only be seen while orbiting the Earth. As shown here, the black disk representing the new moon passed in front of the Sun and then suddenly reversed course. Not once, but twice. The strange back and forth motion of the moon, in which it appears to be reversing course, is said to be the result of orbital mechanics, where the Solar Dynamics Observatory and the moon are orbiting Earth at different speeds during the long eclipse, in a phenomenon similar to a retrograde motion. The lunar transit lasted just over 4 hours. As much as 82% of the Sun's surface was covered. What is bewildering about this event is that there were no solar or lunar eclipses, that were scheduled for this date, making for interesting conversation as to what exactly took place.
See it? You can't really miss it. The sun's glare blocks it out. So I'm still driving. I'm not really paying attention, and then I do notice that, and I'm like, oh, it's a lens flare. No big deal. No big deal whatsoever at all. So then I pull over, and bear in mind, so I take my phone out. It's 100 degrees, and I'm moving the camera around specifically trying to create a lens flare. But this little thing with the blue outline next to it is right next to the sun. And my cell phone camera actually locks right onto it. It locks right onto it. See the lens flares moving around? You see the item next to the sun not moving around at all? And it's an irregular shape. It's not a perfect circle. So I do everything I can to try to debunk this thing. It's right up there. And again, the blue outline is showing you that my cell phone has locked onto it. It's a separate entity. See the lens flares dancing around all in front? That's cool. I've done that before. But the strange thing is that this thing next to the sun looks exactly like an illuminary. And I know it's crazy, but I cannot stop thinking of there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Now I'm in Wyoming and it's 9:30 in the morning, and they are spraying the sky like you read about, and they have been for 2 weeks. So you've got fires going on in Colorado so bad that they're shut down parts of Route I-70, which I've never seen before. And then this is the next day in Wyoming, first thing in the morning. The video you just watched earlier was from Colorado at 5:30 in the afternoon. And there it is again. It's still in the exact same spot. I'm still shaking the camera everywhere, trying to get it to move like a lens flare, and it won't. And it seems to be giving off a rainbow on top of it, and they're spraying directly in front of the sun, like you can see here. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. This is the second day. I'm going to show you another video clip from a third day in a different location, and this thing is still just riding right along with the sun. I'm still in Wyoming, but I'm like 500 miles north of where I was when I showed you earlier. And there it is. And as you can see, it's giving off its own rays of light. It's not the same size, it's not the same shape, it's not the same dimensions of the sun, so it's not a duplicate. I've shown you this exact object next to the sun 3 separate days, 1,000 miles difference. You know, like I was 1,000 miles away, 500 miles away, and then here. And this thing still shows up, just like that. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. That's all I can think of. And this thing's giving off its own rays. See it? Going straight up and down, just like the sun. No idea what this is. So I thought I would present it to you. At any rate, Richie from Boston. I did a video yesterday you might want to check out over here. In case you didn't see it, the dollar collapse is the least of our problems. I just put that up yesterday. You might want to check it out. Or don't. Links will be in the description. Richie from Boston, and I'm out.
I'm going to do exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. Holy shit. It's something in front of it. It's fucking crazy. So Preston, I think you might be onto something. What the fuck am I witnessing? What the fuck? There's 2 orbs. No fucking way. Dude, there's 2 fucking orbs. This is fucking crazy.
While compiling our presentation, we came across 2 nighttime captures of Nibiru, our unidentified celestial object. Both showed a pinkish, reddish celestial object near the moon.
Look. Yeah.
See, I was watching.
One was taken from the UK in 2016, while the other was filmed in the US in 2017 and 2018. What we found interesting was that in the UK video, the UCO appeared at the 11 o'clock position of the moon, while the UCO in the US video appeared at the 5 o'clock position of the moon. Why would a UCO appear in 2 different relative positions when looking at the same moon? Now, of course, our UCO could very well be orbiting around our moon. However, it is highly unlikely that the moon could have pulled another celestial object within its gravitational field. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. We believe the actual answer lies in that age-old flat Earth debate. Now, whether or not you believe that the Earth is a spherical ball or a flat plane, for the sake of our argument, we will assume it has 2 different faces or planes. Simply put, let's imagine that there is a top side and a bottom side. Since I live in the US myself, let's say we live on the top side, and those in Europe or the UK live on the bottom side. So let's test our theory with a simple graphic, which we feel perfectly demonstrates this inverted visual perspective. We have 2 different observers located on 2 different sides of the world, videotaping the same UCO near the moon, in the same relative position, around the same lunar cycle. We believe these 2 have unwittingly provided us with near smoking gun proof of the reality of an unidentified celestial object within our solar system.
Oh, no, Dad, it was definitely a piece of the sky. I'm telling
Piece of the sky. It's okay, everyone.
Dad, no.
There's been like a little mistake.
Chicken Little, what were you thinking?
Why would you put your town's safety in jeopardy?
How could you mistake a stop sign for an acorn? But it is big acorn, little fella.
What did he say?
Big acorn level fluff.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just gibberish. Gibberish of an insane person.
Oh, come on, Buck! Your kid went and scared us all half to death.
Well, tell you folks, my son, you know, kids do crazy stuff.
No, Dad. You gotta believe me.
Scream in terror, for the day of the Lord has arrived. The time for the Almighty to destroy. Every arm is paralyzed with fear. Every heart melts, and people are terrified. Pangs of anguish grip them like those of a woman in labor. They look helplessly at one another, their faces aflame with fear. For see, the day of the Lord is coming, the terrible day of his fury and fierce anger. The land will be made desolate, and all the sinners destroyed with it.
I watched as the Lamb opened the first of the 7 seals. Then I heard one of the 4 living creatures say in a voice like thunder,
Come and see!
Then everyone, the kings of the earth, the rulers, the generals, the wealthy, the powerful, and every slave and free person, all hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains. And they cried to the mountains and the rocks,
Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of their wrath has come. Who can withstand? Everything they built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. Goddamn America! Goddamn America! Goddamn America!
I saw the end of the world. I could feel all this death.
It happened before. It will happen again. It's just a question of when.
Yahshua. In the morning light.